Caleb cross from the soil to the skyline.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Caleb, and today we're going to be talking about construction in Kenya. And this is based on an experience I had while building here. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story, just a short story about a house that I started building myself without engaging any professionals. So this story is going to help you learn one or two things that can help you in your construction journey. So a couple of months ago, I decided to start building an afresh because I like that kind of design of a house. So I went to the market, the yard, bought some timbers and some wooden poles and brought them to the site. Mark you, I did not engage any architect or structural engineer. So I did this all by myself. I just googled some plans online and settled for one. So we were doing this on the go. I did not have even a printed plan. So my work was to guide the masons and explain to them or tell them I want us to do this or that. So the day to start the construction came and we started building. I went ahead and identified the area where we are going to build the house, and it was not such a big house because I had prospected to build a house, an A-frame with a sitting room, a kitchen, a washroom, and one bedroom. So it was not quite big. So we measured the area. We took the square of the house, the diagonals, as I used to hear the masons say, and they started digging up the holes for the wooden poles that would be acting as our columns in this case. Midday, we were a quarter done with installing the poles, and then the day came to an end. Now, the following day, early in the morning, I just visited the site and took a look, revisited did a recap of what we had done the previous day. And I thought to myself, okay, this is a good job, but the house looks kind of small to me. So I decided to extend the house to have a bigger bedroom and a bigger washroom. So by the time the masons were reporting to work, I had a clear picture of what I want in my head. So once they arrived, I explained to them that we are going to have some changes with the building. So I rushed to the market, added some poles and some timber so that they could resume their work. So we installed the wooden poles, as I'm going to be sharing some clips here on this video. And I remember on the second day, we installed the new poles and we did the slab or the floor for the house, the entire house. So we had cement, we had ballasts, and we had sand. So there was nothing that was preventing us from moving forward. So on the second day, we were done with the slab, and the following day we would start doing the timbers that would be crossing around the house. So we did that. We installed the timbers that day, And by the time the day was ending, we were already at the roofing stage. So on the fourth day, we would start with installing the roof, the timber on the roof. So it was during that day before we went to the stage of the roofing, and I was seated in a certain corner, and I thought to myself, why can't I extend this house further to have 3 bedrooms? So that meant that I would add 2 more bedrooms and a washroom. So those 2 bedrooms could be sharing that one washroom. And I didn't share that with the masons because it was just a thought in my mind. But that night, it really disturbed me, and I decided that that's exactly what we gonna do. But when they came, I had already changed my mind again and thought maybe it's let me just build a 1 bedroom because it's what is on the ground right now. And I told them that let's continue with the roofing. So they installed the timber for the roof, and the day came to an end. So on the 5th day, now the previous night before we woke up to the 5th day, I called my mason and told him that he should wait until I give him a heads up, because I wanted some time to think before we moved further and see whether I really wanted to extend this house. So I wanted some little time to decide. So after 2 days or 3 days, I went back to the construction area just to inspect the current structure that we had put up. And to my surprise, I realized that the termites had started going up the wooden poles, which was a very bad sign for me. And we omitted a very important step on that, and that is treating the poles. Even though we bought the poles when they were treated, that's what the salespeople tell you there on the yards, that these are treated poles. But I came, installed them. To my surprise, 2 days later, 3 days later, the termites had already started coming up the poles. So that clicked in my mind immediately that this was a wrong decision to start building a wooden structure here. Especially on the red soils, we have a challenge with termites. And apart from them destroying the wooden poles, we have lost very many trees around the perimeter, around 120 trees to termites. So I thought buying these treated poles would solve my problem, but it didn't. I decided to dismantle the whole structure and start afresh with the building blocks. So immediately I called my masons. I explained to them that we are going to start again. We are going to start afresh. We are going to dismantle the structure that is on site, and we are going to rebuild it using the building blocks. They were really surprised, and they could not believe what I was telling them. But I told them, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So that day I ordered for 1 lorry of building blocks, the bigger rocks, the bigger blocks. We call them quarry blocks here in Kenya. They are very hard. They don't absorb water, so they are the best for building foundations. 1 day later, we had already dismantled that cabin, wooden cabin, and we started digging the foundation now where the blocks would go. So it was at that point that I realized maybe I had done the best decision, because now I'm not going to worry about termites anymore. And above all, a block structure is permanent. So it was going to be a house that I'm going to have for the longest time. So the mason came with some casual workers who helped with digging up the foundation. So we dug the foundation all around, and at this point, because I wanted to purchase the reinforcement bars that would go on the foundation together with the concrete, but the mason was like, this soil is great and we don't need these reinforcement bars, because after all, this is not a heavy house. We don't have another floor on top. And I fell on his trap, and we did the concrete around without the reinforcement bars, and we started building. So we built this house, we finished the foundation, we built I think around 4 courses or 5 on top. And at that particular time, I had decided to add the other 2 bedrooms that I was telling you about previously. So this block house now is a 3-bedroom, and it's still an airframe. So at that point again, I thought to myself, why don't I just build a big proper house and extend this all the way to the west, so that I can have more rooms, bigger sitting room or lounge, and our people would feel comfortable inhabiting that house. But I didn't do that immediately. So after building this house, 4 courses, I decided to engage a structural engineer because I started feeling lost and confused, because from the beginning we used to have problems with taking the level of the house. The mason was not very keen, and I started seeing some problems with the structure that were visible to the eye. So I decided to call the engineer to help me on deciding what to do, or give me advice. So when the engineer arrived, he could figure out very many problems. And guys, pardon me, today it's very windy. I don't know if I am audible enough. Yeah, so the engineer came to site, inspected the structure, and he asked me a few questions about the foundation. Did we use the reinforcement bars? I said no. What was the ratio of the cement and the sand? I didn't know. And it was like the best practices were not applied on this structure, and it is very much compromised, that we would be forced again to demolish the whole structure so that we can start again afresh, using the best practices for a safe house to inhabit. So he explained to me the problems of building a house without the reinforcement bars on the foundation, and he told me that this house will be prone to cracks, and it's not going to be a very durable house. It's not going to be a very strong house. So that is a very important step that I omitted. That day I was like thinking to myself, now this is the second time we want to demolish this house, and mark you, this was even more expensive than the first build when we were using the wood and timber. So I was like, oh, all my money is going to get finished here. So I decided that I think I'm not going to demolish it. But later on, I was forced to demolish that house and start afresh, now engaging the proper people in the project. So what did I learn in this whole story of mine? Number one, never start building without a plan. So that means you should engage an architect. You should also engage a structural engineer so that you can kick off sure and avoid very many losses, because the losses that I incurred because of my mistakes, I would have used that money to do something else constructive in the compound. So number one, have a plan. Get a professional architect, let him draw the plan for you. Get a structural engineer if you're building a bigger house or story house. Engage professionals. Get advisors from people who are professionals on this field of building. Number two, make sure you have a supervisor or a contractor. That's how we call them here in Kenya. A person who is trusted and who is going to oversee the project. Make sure the concrete is mixed well, masons are building well. Yes, they are joining the blocks well without leaving spaces. Who makes sure that the masons work efficiently so that you don't incur a lot of labor expenses with masons who just come around to play. Also make sure that you make time. If you're a very busy guy, you're working or something, make sure you create time also to come and supervise for yourself and inspect the work. If there's anything that you think is going wrong, you make sure that you communicate with the contractor so that you can change that early before it's too late and the expenses get higher. Number three, where you source your materials, make sure you're getting the proper and the original type of materials, like the steel bars, which we call the reinforcement bars. We have the D8, D10, D11, D12. Those reinforcement bars vary a lot because I've seen much of them which are very light or very easy to bend, and those type of reinforcement bars may compromise the integrity of your structure. So you need to source those materials from reputable hardware or company, yeah, so that you can get the best. Number four, you should make sure that when it's time to build, you have all the materials on site, enough materials on site, because you will have masons come to work early in the morning and you do not have enough materials, so they are going to work for 2-3 hours and they don't have any materials to continue building. So you, as the project owner, you are going to incur losses because these people are going to waste the whole day. So make sure you have enough material for the day or for the specific period of time you intend to build. Last but not least, don't stress yourself, okay? If you get to a point where you think that now I need to take a break, be glad to take that break. Doesn't matter what people say, or human beings are like, now this guy started building a house, he has stalled, he cannot move anymore. But most of the people who talk like that, these are people who have never built, who don't know the cost of blocks or cement. So those kind of talks should not work on you. So this is your journey. You know where you are going, you know your direction very well. You don't want to give people that kind of space to discourage you. Stay focused, take a break if you want, plan again, then come back and continue. And that's how progress is. So guys, thank you for watching my video. I hope you have learned one or two things. If you're new and you're seeing this channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, leave a comment, like and share, and give me opinions also of your ideas and just what is in your mind. Let us have a conversation. So here we are building a beautiful Airbnb space, chilling spots for you where you can come and relax, enjoy the birds singing, cool air, and just a cool and calm environment out from the hustle and the bustle of the towns. So I will see you on the next video. Thank you very much and goodbye.